A, B, K, D, E, G, A, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, K, R, S, T, U, V, U, X, Y, Z. Cake, tree, bike, float, flute. There was a little turtle, he lived inside a box. He swam in a puddle and he climbed on the rocks. He snapped at a mosquito, he snapped at a flea. He snapped at a minnow and he snapped at me. He caught the mosquito and he caught the flea. He caught the minnow, but he didn't catch me. Yeah. Buzz, hiss, woof, woof, chirp, chirp, grrr. Okay. 407 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, coveted in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation, or any nation so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate the portion of that field a finding restful place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, and it can never forget what they did here. It is for us living rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who here have fought thus so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that for which these honored dead we take increased devotion to the cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have new birth of freedom, and that the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. In the habit of running away or hiding under the bed. But the farce comedy had to be properly staged if the marshal and the district attorney were to earn immortality. Hence the sensational arrest. Hence also the raid upon the officers of the blast Mother Earth and the non-constructive league. In their zeal to save the country from the troublemakers, the marshal and his helpers did not even consider it necessary to provide a search warrant. After all, what matters a mere scrap of paper when one is called upon to raid the offices of anarchists? Of what consequence is the sanctity of property, the right to privacy, to officials in their dealings with anarchists? In our day of military training for battle, an anarchist office is appropriate camping ground. Would the gentleman who came with Marshal McCarthy have dared to go into the office of Morgan or Rockefeller or any of those men without a search warrant? They never showed us a search warrant, although we asked for them. Nevertheless, they turned our office into a battlefield. So that's when they were through with it, and it looked like it invaded Belgium, with the only other difference is that the